welcome back to Aftermath, episode 22, I think. If you count Times of Fate.
Professionals.
Yes! It always starts with so. So, where we last left off, you managed to make your way into the first cart of Coria, the first carriage, technically. After then, you did a little digging around, discovered the truth behind who Larkin was. Surprise, surprise, this wasn't stolen from Critical Role in the fucking slightest. Don't know what you're talking about. You then made your way to an interplanar rift, where the far realms were beginning to leak into the Prime Materium plane, and you defended Larkin against some gibbering horrors, literally, as he patched up the interplanar rift, the end of which, an hour-long ritual that called towards you many of these interplanar beings from the far realms. At the end of this hour-long ritual, there was a single dice roll, actually rolled at the start of the session, off screen, and then I had to roll for plane, because you found yourself transported to a different plane of existence. You found yourself in a bizarre plane, with an ever-present light, without source. Even closing your eyes doesn't bring darkness. There's no shadow, and the ground reaches ever outwards, the grassy plain towards the horizon in front of you. All around is a perfectly flat horizon. A single thin line, infinitely thin, so far away you can't make out exactly what it is, stretches up into the sky as far as you can see, up to its zenith, far above you, way beyond the horizon. Behind you, there is small fields of wheat, barley, and other grains. There are vegetable patches, there are plantations of growing rice and of sugarcane and all sorts that perhaps shouldn't really mix too well, but they're all grown together. There's a small village, perhaps bordering on the size of a town. It appears to have a few large buildings at its centre, from what you can see, and a number of small but simple houses surrounding it.
Is this our cue?
Yeah, that was
Half of us are.
yeah.
Oh, when did I get muted? Weird.
So I literally have bugs in my screen. On a side note.
Oh, it's always lovely when that happens.
Yeah,
Okay, I guess I just kind of pause, look around. My ears slowly drift down to my side in that sort of pouting cat sort of look, and I just go, "Oh, come on."
Where the shit are we this time?
What happened?
Larkin.
Yeah, that's a good summary of it. Yeah.
As you look to
Where is Larkin?
Larkin, the dwarf, is not there. Instead, he stands in his true form, with the lope around 11 feet tall, looking around with pretty much no expression. You can't read him. He doesn't have a face.
Hey Larkin, any clue what's going on?
He sort of looks over at you and he nods. And then you see his,
What's going on?
you see his eyes begin to sort of focus for a minute. And inside your head you'll hear, "I don't know if this works."
I just
Well,
think back to myself, I don't think this works.
Can you hear me?
No.
I hear you.
Why is there a bad
Sadly
man?
so.
Yes.
Right.
Am I going crazy?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
No,
Sauriv.
Sauriv.
So,
I don't like this.
Any clue where we are?
yeah, we're on another plane. This one. He sort of looks around.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah? What?
We're on a different plane.
Yeah.
Were you supposed to like close the hole, not like pull us through it? Wasn't that the plan that you had?
I did close the hole.
This is only getting worse.
No.
Let me guess. This is like
Hey,
when
get
you
us
take
back.
a sewing. This is when you take a sewing needle to fix a problem, only to end up freaking pricking yourself at the end of it all.
Kind of. It's not a major issue. This is Garazeth. I've been here before.
Can we get back? Preferably immediately.
He sort of looks around and... yeah. You see that? And he points towards this very thin line, just to make out on the horizon. Just stretching
Yes,
upwards. Black line. It's right on the edge of your vision. It's really, really difficult to see.
What about it?
But that's a city.
That's a tall city.
Its name, because I didn't think to open the thing, because I'm thick. Where is it? Garazeth. Yes, we actually have like a full fancy notes document now. It's Genf, City of Tears. It extends upwards, more or less infinitely.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, roll 20's having
Okay.
issues again. Please tell me it's not.
Tears or tears? Like tears in like crying or tears in like levels?
Oh, like levels. You
Oh,
just keep building
that
on
sounds
top
better.
of each other.
So
How
it's
does that
like a fancy cake.
Yeah, but like a city, I guess. What's a cake?
It's like a city, but like you eat it.
No, you
Right.
I don't
Very
anyway,
small city.
It's a very small
Very
city
nice.
that you eat. Yeah.
Uh,
Lord
Yeah.
can't bother.
Just
Oh,
don't
nice.
pay too much attention to them,
right.
I guess.
Right,
not
and
very
what does
nice.
that have to do with us coming back home?
Well, you can get
Preferably immediately.
to Loxia, or the Realm Sea from there, or the Primaterium.
Primaterium, please.
Is that the good one? Which one's the good one?
Primaterium.
They're all good
Okay.
ones.
Somehow I doubt that, because when I close my eyes, I can see the insides of my eyes.
Wait, hang on. Oh shit!
What?
Right? What's that about?
Or- Well, hang on. Why does no one have a shadow?
Oh yeah. So you know about the axes, right?
Sauriv's more of a sword guy. I don't know much about axes.
Yeah, I'm not much of a fan.
Right.
29. I presume I know a lot about the planes because I'm a curious fellow.
Where did you roll that?
Yeah.
Because I was just
Oh,
curious
oh,
how
there.
much.
I'm just.
Oh, right,
Oh,
okay.
that
yeah.
20. Okay.
Yeah,
anyway,
it was not
that took a
20. I
million
was
years to roll.
just curious
Yeah.
if like
Yeah.
how much. Because when Felix gets bored, he reads.
Sure. Yeah. You don't know all that much. Simply due to the fact that you've never had like a formal education on this. But within that 20, yeah, you've read quite a bit about this. You would know of the different axes of the planes, I guess, and the Great Cross cosmology. Essentially, and as basically you know this, as it is written in the guidebook, and I will just, and Larkin is going to describe it anyway. So, the Primaterium's like at the centre, right? And then there's a line that goes up that has different worlds on it, and there's a line that goes across that has different worlds on it. And where they meet, that's where you're from. And you can only go to ones that are next to you. It's kind of how that works.
Oh
Oh,
shit!
right.
I just say out loud, looking around, concerned.
The axis of
Let me
light,
guess.
it gets brighter as you go up, gets dimmer as you go down. Axis of civilization, I think. That's the word. So there's more people as you go left, and less people as you go right.
This
That
is
makes
just
sense.
So
up
we
one?
went up.
Yeah.
Thank whatever higher power still exists for that. I say, just shaking my head. Because the last thing we wanted to do is to go down. Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have you know I'm
Well,
very good at
down
going
then.
down, but
Well,
Down is the plane, is the axis of darkness, if I'm correct. And, well,
oh,
the further down we get, we start dealing with shit like, well, shadow dragons and other nasty ass things.
yeah.
Shadow Dragon. I'd like to fight one of them. That sounds fun.
Well, that's
Well, there's also the problem of Sorry if I keep cutting you off, Larkin.
Well, shadow dragons and darknesses, dark dragons, that kind of stuff, they're in Tenebria. We can't actually get there from the Primaterium. We could have only gone to
I thought they
Tremoria.
could come up, though. I thought that since we could jump around, wouldn't they be able to jump around? They're dragons, after all.
They tend to stick in their plane, mostly. They don't like how bright it is outside. It's not good for them. But, well, nothing lives in Polnia. Nothing can live in Polnia.
Yeah, that's...
Garrett and Trimoria were the only ones we could have survived. And the Realm Sea,
Oh,
which was also an option.
Grant.
So we literally had a 25% chance of dying had we fucked that up in the wrong way. I said, just like looking over to him. Oh, that's encouraging.
Yeah, I appreciate that warning. That was real precise and detailed. Thank you so much.
Right, how about rather than stand here bickering around, we go and have a look in that town over there.
Yeah.
Something I understand. Here, let's do that.
A word of warning, though. You're new to
Yeah.
this, yeah. Just don't piss them off.
Any
See, we have a
tips on
hard
how to
time
do
with
that?
We're good at that,
I mean,
right?
they're usually...
Right.
I mean,
Like,
I kind of look over to Pandal
Don't
and
walk on
Mathias.
2 feet. Is that like something that pisses them off or something? I don't know.
I just like
No.
look over to Pandal and Mathias and say, do we have any form of adhesive?
They're just kind of people, but like, do not piss them off too much.
Are they those Celestials I read about? I say turning around.
No. Those would be
No.
Anoxia. These are
Oh,
just a bit...
is that the next one up?
Yeah.
No, is this where I think they're Azamar?
No.
No.
Still Oxia.
Let's just go. And
Hmm.
Mathias will start walking.
These are mostly
Hmm.
just elves, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. Didn't
elves
some
are
elves
fine.
claim to? Yeah, some elves claim they came from another plane before coming to ours. That's one of the stories I've read. Some of them claim to be from other planes.
I don't really know. Don't know much about you elves.
I'm not an elf. I say just like pulling back my hat to reveal the, pulling back my hood down to reveal the cat ears instead of the pointy ears.
Well, yeah, but like, the elves, whatever.
I'm pretty certain I'm not half extra planar.
And,
Mhm.
Larkin begins walking.
Might be
He's like noticeably having to walk with a slower stride.
Yeah, Mathias has already started.
So
I'm going to do my best to stay in front of him.
He's not stopping you. He just has real big legs.
His legs probably go up to the size of us.
Yeah, they're like shoulder height on
Most
you.
of us.
Oh, no,
I
wait,
mean,
hold on.
if they're up the size of Pandal, he's still got really short legs.
Handle is legitimately knee height for Larkin.
Oh my god.
I'm probably
Like,
way
jokes.
myself.
Yeah,
I'm only 5 feet.
Yeah,
Actually, on second thought, no, I'm going to. Whereabouts is Pando? Is he looking towards the front or towards the back or what?
I'm jogging to keep up, man. I'm probably near the back.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to Pandal. I'm just gonna say, did you understand any of that?
About like dragons and not being able to sleep because it's bright all the time. I don't know.
I don't know. It was
Just
weird.
don't make them angry. Don't break any doors.
Or
Look
some
over to Akane.
unicorns.
Don't remind them that you broke any doors.
If I could, I would fucking minor illusion a door.
Well, do you try it? Because I
Yeah, do
think
you
that's
try? I
your-
wanna know what
Yeah, I'll
happens.
try it. Yeah,
As you
if I hear that, which I probably do.
as you
Yeah,
try
it was
to,
directed at you.
as you try to cast, nothing happens. Normally, you can sort of feel the arcane energies being moved and bent and twisted as you want, but you can't feel anything. You wave your hands. You say a few words. Nothing happens.
Guys?
Yeah.
Did you forget something? I say, just looking over at Akane, confused.
I tried to cast some other stuff meanwhile.
Uh,
I
Everything you try fails.
you do, like, did you forget what Larkin said earlier when we were in our
What?
dimension?
What did he say?
What?
The arcane flux, the very manner in which we're able to cast magic. That's like unique to our dimension. I don't think our magic works here. Or at least not the same way it does at home.
I'm gonna pull up my.
As soon as you say that, she gets like even more white and a little bit nervous.
Hey,
I'm gonna
it's
pull up
okay,
my
it's okay.
laser beam and try to fire it just like at the ground, like away from people.
Okay.
Whoa. Like, I try to stop. I try to stop Jack before he does, and goes, not piss them off, not startle them. Apparently, if they want to, they can kill us by the implications that Larkin has given us. Let's be friendly. Apparently, that seems to be a fucking foreign concept to you people at times.
Well,
Don't
you gotta
worry,
test your
we
weapons,
can
right?
be friendly, but if shit goes down, I'll do my best to.
To be fair, I agree with your words
Yeah.
the most, and Mr. Jack over here.
Oh, you are very
You-
kind. Thank you. I think.
You are very big,
Was
very
that
strong,
good? I
and
don't
make a
know.
good drinking buddy.
You're doing great. You got them.
And I
Sauriv.
can't cause prestidigitation. This is infuriating me.
Jack, do you fire the gun?
So, yeah, I'll try.
Oh, I probably turn around to talk to Sauriv, and then you fire, and I'm just like, oh.
Just at the ground, just like
You turn around.
not to hurt anyone.
You
Nothing
hear
happens.
you hear the exact same sound as the gun suddenly sort of glows blue. This bolt of energy ripping into the floor with this massive sort of explosion. I need you to just roll me a deck save. Jack, and who would be next to Jack? It would be
Me.
Yeah, nice.
and
Felix, yeah.
Felix. Both of you
Because I
roll
was
deck
close.
saves.
I tried to like
22.
aim it a bit further away, so like
Yeah, it's like fireball
That's-
radius.
yeah.
22 and I have
Oh.
evasion.
22. Okay, yeah, 22 passes, a 13 does not.
Oh yeah, you're a rogue. God.
Yeah, I'm a rogue. I have
I forgot
evasion.
about that.
Jack, you take 11 points of damage. As this, as the bolt impacts the floor, it explodes far more like energy than it did previously. But like normally it would just hit something. This time it explodes, this massive sort of ball of fire and lightning arcing out and just washes over you. As you sort of try and dodge out the way, but catch it a bit.
Does it look up like a bit open up, just like
You can
kind of lost for words?
You can still see this trail where the bolt fired, and it kind of it's you know that distortion where you put like your finger in a glass of water.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that, and it's very slowly fades. Just sort of fades back into the.
I just like.
That
Oh.
didn't used to do that, did it?
Are you guys okay?
Can you not do that?
I just like
Yeah.
roll away from it badass, like, because as soon as I hear the woo, I just like brace
Oh,
myself
no.
and just use the energy to push myself forward into a tumble, and I just stand up, just like dust my hands off and say, maybe. Okay, and I just turn around and say, Jack, are you okay?
Yeah. That was new.
You look a little singed.
Yeah, man.
Ah, you'll be fine. And I pat him on the shoulder pretty hard.
Ow.
Probably on one of the bits when he's singed.
You take a point of bludgeoning damage.
Larkin, I have a question for you.
That's interesting.
Non-Shakes, did she ever cast magic in your realm, or any other realm you know of?
Yeah.
She did?
Yeah.
You know how?
No.
Alright
I
then.
only know
That
what
was
I
a
was
good
told.
conversation.
Right, someone take the lead here, I have a book to read through.
For once, I put my head up and say, can I try? I know I've not really been with you guys very long, but I hate to say it, but my experience with you all does not indicate a high level of. I just kind of like look over you all. Friendliness is the word I eventually land upon.
If you try and kill us, we will try and kill you right back.
I'm not.
Not that
Go
I'm gonna
ahead.
succeed, mind you.
Nice reference.
I
I just,
was
like, put
going
my-
to say Pandal is the friendlier one, but
I'm just saying, we don't know who
I
we
might be
know.
biased.
He's gonna like lead us off a cliff. Apart from the fact there's no cliff. Okay.
Why would he do that?
I also agree with him, but yeah.
I'm not trying to do anything. I just want to get back home to find
Oh,
my
yeah,
fucking
yeah, not you.
sister.
It's just
and
fair
yeah.
warning.
my
We're just
fucking
like
job bag.
just fair warning. Don't lead us off any invisible cliffs.
How the do you see any damn cliffs? I
That's
came
very-
along for a chance to find my fucking sister, and now here I am in the middle of another fucking dimension.
Just saying, if they were invisible cliffs, you wouldn't be able to see
I'm
them.
just saying you're a back. I just like turn away,
It's
rubbing my
alright,
hands through my hair
Felix.
furiously.
Alright.
Welcome to this group.
Mathias is trying to concentrate on his book really hard.
I'm gonna lean real close to Sauriv and go, do you think an invisible cliff to my sister?
I just like breathe out. Okay.
Mate, I'm not sure, to be honest.
I've hit a sore spot.
Maybe.
there.
Okay.
But
So-
he's got a point though. It's a weird situation.
Jack, I
I
have,
think.
I have updated the lance gun handout for you.
No.
Oh god.
We can't see that, can we?
Nope.
No.
Yargon.
Yes.
As we head into town, I would like to go through my spell book, because that was given to me by Notshakes.
It was.
See if there's anything in there with regards to extra planar casting.
You can
What
briefly
is it?
float through it. You're not too far out of town. Maybe 10-15 minutes walk. You
Okay,
can
yeah, I'll.
briefly flip through it, but you don't see anything on first glance. But if to
Oh.
roll, you'll have to take a solid hour and a half. Maybe a bit
Yeah,
more,
I'll do
so
that in town then.
To do that like properly
Um,
later.
Then I'm gonna try and summon Violet to my side.
Nothing happens.
Cock.
While we're walking, I want to go walk.
That
No,
cock
sorry, I
was
got
actually in
distracted for a
character, but Mathias just says give her cock randomly at some moment.
Hmm?
All of a sudden, Mathias just goes, cock.
Okay. So, while we're walking, I want to go sort of walk shyly next to Felix, or awkwardly, I don't know, put it. And she's just gonna start talking like, yeah, hey Felix, you know, you're pretty good back there.
I just look over to her confused and say, "Pretty good where?"
The fight, just
Oh,
I don't know however long it was to go, but
I don't
An
know.
hour.
Like an hour. Yeah. Ah, time flies when you're being traveled across dimensions, doesn't it? Eh. Yeah, I'm okay. I don't tend to get in fights. I tend to try and stay away from them.
I mean that's a good tactic, yeah.
Fair enough.
You know, I was wondering, right? Would you want to go for a drink once we're back? She sort of very shyly asked that.
Felix just like looks to you and just go, and then like just imagine I see his face and he goes, sure, that sounds nice.
Okay, nice. That's the most awkward fucking answer ever. Oh yeah, that seems nice. Okay, nice.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, nice.
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 Nice. Mine.
Now it just
On.
turned into a seagull. Seagulls from emo. Mine.
I'm gonna try and message Akane, then fail, and then be sad.
Seeing Vom do this, I'm going to do my best to stealthily get Akane's attention, as in not stealthily
me.
at all, and just give her a massive thumbs up.
Please.
It's
tell me
rude
that-
to
Oh
give it-
no, that's not makeup. Fuck me.
She blushes.
It is not subtle at all.
She becomes very red.
Shit. Oh shit.
What's up?
X fucking dying or something.
Might have-
I hit my foot a while back. pretty hard. Muted myself because I was like, oh god, ow. I just looked
bleeding
down.
out.
Look, yeah, I'm bleeding. I look down, I see some red stuff on the floor. I'm like, oh, that must be makeup. Look over to my foot. It's all over my foot. Look to the place where I kicked my leg. Yeah, there's more red stuff there. Fuck.
Oh,
Do you want to deal with that?
I'll be right back. I'm just gonna wipe it up with a paper towel.
Sure.
Wait, is he
Yeah, he's bleeding out.
Huh?
So,
If you died in the game, you died in real life.
I understand. Felix has a nosebleed.
nice.
Oh, bless.
oh god.
These kids.
So, you make your way into town. It's a pretty, like, small, quaint-looking town. The kind of white picket fence type of area. The whole place. It almost looks strangely out of place. This kind of just small town. The kind that actually none of you are used to because you live in a place where this kind of stuff doesn't last very long. Find yourself.
I'm gonna look kind of wary, because I imagine that we'd be used to stuff like this in the real world, be having like something really crazy about it or something.
Yeah, that's always an
It's
option.
filled with Flux Dragon.
Yeah, everyone's favourite Fox Dragon.
Hi guys, it's me, Stephen.
As you ooh, music is loud. As you walk, you do encounter a number of people in the streets. They seem friendly enough. All of them look like elves. They're wearing very simple robes. As Larkin continues to sort of lead you towards the centre of town. We can probably find a gate of some kind in the town hall if you want to get back.
Wait, what?
A gate.
For real?
Yeah.
Back home?
Nah, to Ghent. You might be able to get home from there. Or
Ghent?
if you wanna,
Again, what?
the city, the big lines. Or if
Oh, yeah.
you
The
want,
cake.
no,
Yes.
the city. Or if you want,
Cake City.
we could always, I guess there's a library. Some of you look
I mean-
like the kind that read books. I don't know.
I could use a library right now.
Oh, it's
And I think a good night's rest isn't the worst idea either.
if you
So
want to do
tavern.
that. A tavern.
From
Any
my
good
experience,
whiskey?
guys, tavern might not be the best idea.
And he just sort of looks around and he goes, "Oh, fuck, yeah, okay, I know this place. Been here before as well. Yeah, I can find a
Sorry,
tavern."
you know I've
friends.
got the good whiskey covered, if you really need it.
Well, yeah, I know, but we're in a different world. And what do when you go to a new place? You drink
try
whiskey.
the local things.
There you go. That's what I want to do.
The booze is literally out of this world. So I'm...
Exactly. Ha ha ha.
What about this one?
What?
Right, before I get shit-faced, I'd rather go to the library.
Yeah, you know any good taverns? I'll buy you a drink.
I
If you-
don't
if
drink.
You drink?
have a mouth.
No.
Yeah. So the library's that, and he just points at the largest building he can see, which you can actually see it over the rooftops of some of the houses. So you're getting kind of close to the town square, by the looks of it, and it's kind of across the other side, and there's just this huge, big building that's a little bit out of place, a little bit too big for this town. But this is the kind of it's the kind of size place that, in modern terms, would probably have a full-size supermarket and like 3 Tesco extras. It's bordering on like it's like it's a town, but it's like not a big town, you know. Not massive, but it is a town. Just so
Is it like every single Scottish town, where
Yes.
once it might have been like okay, but now it is literally a shithole?
No, because this still actually looks like a really quite nice, quaint little place.
Oh wow!
But it's about the
It's not
size
even
of.
hovering
Vesztel.
at
So it's pre-Thatcher. Okay.
Yes. I mean, I usually imply
Politics
that.
and angel dice.
I usually imply that let's not get political, but also Thatcher isn't
Yeah,
political. That's just being human.
I'm just taking the piss. It's fine.
Yeah, same. Right. So your library's that way. You wanted a tavern? Just sort of looking at you, Sauriv.
Yeah.
Uh,
Good tavern, if you know one.
not really, but I'm sure you can find one.
Mm. All right then.
Not my thing.
Let's
you
go
see.
exploring.
Right. Well, let's go this way first, I suppose. He tries to lead you in the direction of the library.
Yeah, Mathias is totally
Sure.
down for that.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Along the way, I'm going to be searching for taverns.
same street as the library. A little bit further down, you see a sign that appears to be it's one of the ones that sort of hangs outside a building, like perpendicular to it, and you can see like a horseshoe, and underneath it's like the Lucky Bro. That's what's written on it.
That isn't common though, yeah?
Yeah, it's in common.
Oh, excellent.
But as you approach this library, it's this huge sort of not red brick, but it appears to be a kind of almost a sandstone-like material, but it's kind of quite deep red. These huge, big glass windows, and you can see it. And this is the biggest library that you've ever seen. Mathias was Coria's library. It's pretty big, and that one was
Yes.
like a reasonably sized room. This is maybe 10, 20 times as big as that. It's massive compared to anything you've seen before. Larkin sort of opens the door and leads you in. The door, for the record, is about 60 feet tall, and it would be about 20 feet wide. It's massive double doors. He opens one, sort of leads in, and inside.
Mathias is clearly trying to keep his posture.
Inside, you
Also
can
clearly very amazed by everything around
Trying
him.
to keep it in his pants.
Inside you can see rows and rows of bookshelves. There are ladders that like move along rails to get to higher up, and you see a number of areas like near the door, like either side really, with like tables with unlit candles on them. And you see a couple of these all around. There's a single desk kind of in the centre by the look of it, with this old looking elf behind it. Yeah, this is your library.
Holy shit.
Nice buddies.
Hey, Mac,
Holy shit.
did you catch all
No.
that? They found the library. It's massive.
Ooh.
Some person have us.
Is this like normal?
Yeah. Your plane's like weird. Your books are funny. Apparently, I don't really know.
Yeah. Oh, most of them are flux to hell.
Yeah.
This is massive. Holy smokes. Alright, excuse me, miss. And I'm just gonna head on forward.
It's a male elf.
Male? I thought you said female.
No, I said
Excuse me,
elf.
sir.
Yes. How can I help you? You see him sort of lean
Magic
forward.
department, please.
Tiny, like, pair of spectacles. He pushes up his nose. Who are you?
Preferably the arcane arts. My name is Mathias Greenfield, professor of the University of Korea. But I don't think that's worth much here.
No, it doesn't ring a bell. Who are you again?
No. Mathias Greenfield.
Ah, yes. Do you have an appointment?
No, I don't. I just got here from the Primaterium.
That's not an
By a
appointment.
mishap.
That's my last job. Yes, what
No,
did you
I
want again?
just want to have a look through your arcane department, sir.
Arcane, that's magic, is it not? Yes, follow me.
That is magic.
He stands up and you see him pick up this kind of gnarled looking wooden like staff or walking stick of some kind, and starts tap, tap, tap as he slowly walks over towards And sort of leading you, follow me. And kind of that, it's that real infuriating NPC walk type of slow. With it.
Well, Mathias is happy to slow down to the man's pace and just gasp around himself. Gasp. Whatever.
As he walks you over to, kind of in towards the back, on the left-hand side of the library, takes you across a couple of bookshelves, and then comes to one of the sections where you see these huge bookshelves, and like on the side it's just like Akane, and it does mostly appear that everything here is written in common from what you can see. There's like Arcane, and then there's natural magic, there's divine magic, and there's a number of other things listed.
This is fantastic. Question, how long is the library open for?
Oh, you see, you're new here, yes?
I am.
Yes, well, we don't have days here, son, so we're open all the time.
That is absolutely fantastic. Another question. Do there happen to be any mages in town? Wizards, sorcerers, preferably?
There might be, yes. Probably. I don't know them.
Amazing. And you don't mind me just nosing through these books, probably picking up 5 of them and reading them all night? Well, night.
It's a library, that's what you do.
Splendid, sir. Thank you very much. I'm just gonna go start looking through them.
Right. I'll be at my desk.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna see him for a while.
Slowly makes his way over, and you guys see them sort of disappear off behind the bookshelves for a few minutes. For about, maybe sort of a minute or so, actually. And then the guy comes back, slowly tapping away as he walks on this kind of hard wooden floor. And he'll come back over and sit down at his desk and looks up at you guys and just sort of expectantly. Hello.
Will I look to anyone else? Does it, like, as in,
Oh,
like,
is this at the desk?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not there. I'm still at the doors.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm gonna try and shove the doors.
Okay.
And like see how heavy are they?
It is an incredibly heavy door, and is an incredibly well-oiled hinge, and it moves like with way less effort than you would expect. But it feels really heavy, but you can actually like move it pretty easily.
That's nice.
Grand library, more books in one place than ever seen before. Sauriv is amazed by that door.
It's a big door, okay?
I love it.
It's a really big door.
I walk up to the older gentleman. Do you have anything about engineering?
What?
Mechanical parts and guns, maybe, or something like that?
Are you one of those history boffins? Yes, of course. And he stands up. Follow me. I'll take you to the history section. And he begins leading you off to the
I walk
right side of the
confused.
library. And he takes you over to a section that is labelled history. Here you go. The ones you're looking for are prime material. They're in the end. And sort of points you off towards the end.
I walk off. Start, yeah, reading.
It appears to be a lot of history books. As you look through them, you do note that some of them, they talk about like the machines and the creations of the ancients.
Ooh, I'm gonna see if I can find more of that.
Yeah.
What do
you
they talk about?
You can find a couple of those as you look through.
Mhm.
You also note that instead of books on the shelf to the right of you, there are doors. Regular wooden doors, some of them. Most of them. A few of them are... Roll me a... just an intelligence check.
I'm terrible. I'm terrible.
21. Yeah, so a few of these are wooden doors. Some of them are like metal doors, and one of them is a metal door that has one of the a round metal handle, in the center, like a submarine door type thing. Has an indent but no window in it, and it looks like a big, stiff, heavy door. So you look at it. This door is the same door that you saw throughout the train that you first met the party by.
I open the door. Well, I try.
Okay. You open the door. All of the doors that you tried to open previously, they are incredibly heavy, incredibly rusted, and required strength checks to open and break. From the rest of the party, you would have experienced the same thing. This one opens easily, just and then you open the door. As you do so, you see in front of you one of the corridors, the larger corridors. You see a number of people running past in this kind of flimsy, light-looking armor of some kind, wearing pretty simple robes underneath. You see a number of them carrying these the rifles, like lance rifles, like the ones you've got. You see a number of people in what kind of look like blacksmith, like aprons, all dyed blue, with pockets all over them, carrying some kind of arcane device in their hands of shining metal with like a glowing bit at each end, which they like waving at walls, repairing like small damages in it. You can hear the sound, and you all hear this throughout the library, just suddenly, of someone shouting in a language that none of you understand. It almost sounds like it's backwards. Mathias, you do understand it. You can hear multiple other voices. As you look up, you see a number of the like little tiny flying security constructs that the party encountered that were dubbed floaty boys, just hovering by overhead, but instead of red eyes, they have green. And along the centre of this corridor marches a trio of much larger security constructs, which the party also encountered.
I am coming over right now.
As you look through the door, confused, it appears that there's a lot of people in there, and they are rushing about somewhat confusedly. In some kind of panic, there is a booming voice that comes over and starts shouting in this language. And then this chanting sort of overtakes it as 5 rows of 10, 10 rows of 5 even, led by a single man at the front of these of sort of soldiers, human by the look of them all, carrying lance rifles with some kind of strange weapon strapped across their back, wearing an armour that looks pretty flimsy really, like with a kind of simple leather undershirts and that kind of stuff, as they all march past, each one of them with a visor over their eyes that looks almost like glass on a kind of strange helmet. It's not something you've seen before. As these men march past, hey, schnee, hey, schnee, hey, schnee, hey, schnee, is this kind of what it sounds
I'm gonna
like.
try to, like, just touch one of them, just like not do a sleight of hand, just to be like, like, do they seem like they like at all see that I'm there?
They kind of, yeah, no, they definitely notice you. They're kind of more towards the center. This is maybe 50 feet across. It's quite big, and you're kind of in the doorway. You can't really touch them. But as you look, like some of them do give you like strange looks, but don't really pay you any mind. They're doing something. Whatever it is more important than whoever you are.
Okay, yeah.
You see a number of constructs looking at you a bit weird before just moving on. Everyone's kind of, that's strange, but also there's more important things.
Yeah.
Mathias, the voice that you can hear sort of shouting, it shouts, what would it be? They're here, would be the first thing you... They're here, repeat, they're here. Raise the barrier, prepare for pulse. 3, 2, pulse! And then there's this massive blue kind of wall of arcane energy. You see it sort of rippling down the corridor. You see a number of people along the way sort of covering their ears and like bracing against it as it washes over them. Not quite sure what that was.
Maybe you shouldn't be in there.
Yeah.
Just maybe.
I walk back out and close the door.
Okay. You close the door. As you do so.
Is the old elf still around?
Yeah, he is currently approaching the sound of this as he sort of clanks around the corner. Hello there.
Excuse
Hi.
me.
Yes.
What are these?
These are doors.
Clearly, what's behind these doors?
These doors, they go to different places, sometimes different times.
Uh-huh.
Different times.
We've been trying to piece together your history for many years. We've still got a ways to go, but these are some interesting places we found along the way.
Yeah. Was that beyond this door? Is that one of the trains?
Yes, that's what you'd call
The
it.
one with what is it? The floating metal things
Floating metal?
that
I don't
shoot.
know. Yes, those are quite common.
Well,
Not from
I'll
our
reach down my bag of
time?
holding and I hold up one of the floaty boys. These?
Yes, there's quite a lot of those. They've got discs on the side,
mean-
normally.
Yeah, this one did.
Yes, I see that. They're quite advanced. We don't really know how they're made. It's one of the things we'd like to figure out.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'd give it a shot if I had more time. And I put it back. So, you're trying to piece together our history? How exactly?
Well, sometimes different books, and sometimes various people, places, interesting things. General, investigating, I suppose you could say.
I take it that's a technical term, I say from like behind Mathias.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
I'll be more than happy to basically write down everything I know. I was a university professor after all.
I doubt you know more.
Well, up to what year are you? Because
It's not quite how that works.
it's not.
No.
Alright then.
You see, that door it's a loop. It replays itself. That door leads itself to a single battle. It's quite an interesting one. There's a lot to learn. This door...
Really?
He points at one that's like weathered and torn. This one travels to a far plane. That one points to one that's kind of real got like ivy and stuff growing across it. Looks kind of looks ruined.
That one?
Sorry, I got distracted by the text chat. Thank you guys. But that one.
Sorry.
That one, it leads to, well, the floating island. We've still not figured that out yet.
A floating island, you say?
Yes.
Is it a permanent portal?
Yes. But,
I look over at whoever of us is amongst us.
everyone
Well,
but
I'd be down to
Sauriv
check that
and
out.
Pandal, by the way, assume.
I'd be there, yeah. I'd just kind of be looking
mean,
on confused.
I'd probably be there.
It's just Sauriv and
Yeah,
Pandal.
we've...
Be fucked off.
So while this
Odds are-
this is happening, Sauriv, the
I
old
would,
man-
I'd be inviting everyone, pretty much.
okay.
But I would be like more verbally. I'd probably like go up to like Pandal or Akane and that, and just say,
Yeah.
"Want to get pished?"
Okay. So
Very much.
there is only the old man at the desk. If
Right.
that's what you meant.
No, no.
No. Okay, so everyone in the group, yes. It's up to everyone else. I guess you sort of wander over with them, and you're just like, hey, want to get drunk?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Larkin
So,
is like, I don't drink.
oh yeah, don't ask Larkin because I know he doesn't drink.
Sure.
I'm not sure what to do with him anymore.
I just kind of like turn around as you ask and go, what? What?
Well, I'm drinking. You want to come?
I just kind of like look back at the people marching around and say, I may be crazy, but I think these people might have an ability to let them travel space-time. and you want to just go walk away and drink.
Well, we can travel space-time if we're drunk.
That's
I don't think that's how it works, though.
If you're drunk
Pretty
enough.
sure, actually.
Well, let's get drunk.
I'm good for now.
Alright then. Everybody else, let's go get drunk.
Um,
And I'm gonna start walking towards the tavern.
I'm gonna
Anyone who
stay
follows
here
will
for
follow.
now.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
was gonna turn to Mathias and Jack and whoever else is staying. Just explain it to us in simple terms when you work it out, because I have no idea.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna
sure
follow
thing.
you.
okay, so
Okay.
you two
So we go to the tavern.
head off towards the tavern. Yeah, it's a pretty simple little tavern. You can get kind of drunk. That's definitely a thing you can do. You could get rooms if you want. They sell them like for 24 hours, not for a day.
Is there enough rooms for all of us?
You'd have to share. It's not too big.
Right, okay.
Yeah, you'd like 2 or 3 rooms and you could do it.
I'll pay for enough that we could share relatively comfortably.
Sure, like 3 gold will get you 3 rooms.
Yeah, sure.
And
cheap room.
yeah, and you can get drinks pretty cheap. Like, however, the drinks you get here are incredibly strong. Even the half ale is about as strong as you would know, like whiskey maybe to be.
Holy.
You think anyone's ordering half ale?
Sauriv is not ordering
What?
half ale. It's almost like drinking just pure alcohol. It's insanely strong. In fact, it's probably worse than that. This is,
I have resistance to poison
that's not going to save
and
you.
advantage on con saves against poison.
Okay. Gonna need you to roll me some. Pandal.
Okay. I'm not going to drink a huge amount because I have something else I want to do.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a con save.
Actually, I'm also
26.
con saving, right?
you're also
Unfortunately,
con
I'm
save.
too good at that.
Is Sauriv
5.
again
Pandal,
not getting
you will
drunk
pass out drunk after a
despite-
single drink. Sauriv, you're going to get pretty hammered.
I just want to try a quick sip if I if I see what it does to them.
Oh, you went with them?
It's like,
You went with them?
Oh yeah, I went with them.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you
I
said-
will pass out on Sariv's lap.
Why
Sure.
is
Yeah, you're gonna.
roll 20 locked out? I gotta lock it back. No wait,
Yeah, roll 20 is weird.
Roll 20 is having some issues.
Having a moment.
my
Dude,
character sheet
it
is still
doesn't-
open, but I'm not in the game.
Yeah, it does this. So, you're just having a sip, though, yeah?
Yeah.
Then you won't need to roll. It is very, very strong. Very strong. Probably ordered. What'd you order, Sauriv?
I'd ask them what's the local favourite, and I'd order that.
They refer to it as the Lucky Brew. They call it beer. It's like drinking vodka. You try drinking it like beer. It goes about as well as you'd expect. It looks and it tastes like beer, like a pretty good ale maybe. But it is very, very strong.
I like this place now. Yeah, I'm just gonna drink that for a while. I'm only gonna drink one of them. I assume it's a pint actually.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm gonna drink about half of it, and then I'm gonna do something else. I'll be drinking
Okay.
fairly
Which
slowly.
fucking idiot is honking outside?
You are still gonna get like to the point of effectively the poison condition through drunkenness. Like it's
So I'm
very
gonna be
strong.
somewhat drunk,
Yeah,
at least.
like tipsy. Well, a bit more than tipsy.
Oh,
but you are drunk, but you are not like Sauriv.
What would
drunk.
I be after a single sip?
Disgusted, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mostly. It's
Coughing.
really strong. Like you'll be fine, but you won't. Basically, you don't have to roll till you like drink it properly. But like, yeah, that's real strong.
I imagine it's like taking a shot of whiskey.
Kinda. It burns a little.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, yeah.
should we go back to the others?
Yeah, sure.
So, you guys, as half of your companions depart to go and get pissed, what are you guys doing? The old man sort of.
I keep asking about the doors.
What are you asking?
What's behind the doors?
Yeah, as he tells you, there's one on the floating island. There's a couple that just sort of lead to the Primaterium. They don't really, like, they just go to different places. Some of them go to different like events, but the events will like replay. It's kind of like almost a reconstruction of the events or something. He just describes it in this kind of strange way that a lot of it doesn't make sense to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they different planes from the Primaterium, or are they the Primaterium itself?
Well, this one and this one. He points to the ivy-covered one, and then just one further along that just kind of looks like a regular door, like you'd see quite commonly on Coria. It's like a sheet metal door, but it's got like a knob handle and everything. It's like, yeah, these ones, they go to the Primaterium. The other ones go to far realms that have been created to simply replay events by some very powerful magics. And this one, he points to one, this goes to a naturally occurring far plane that just sort of exists. Of what we can gather, the war of old was lost. This one.
The War of Old.
Yes, there was a war. We're not quite sure who or what exactly. But how much of your history do you know?
Given that our books are funny, very little.
That seems
I
about
We try to
unfortunately-
preserve what we can, but
I unfortunately tend to focus on the studies of magic, unfortunately. And even then, it seems like it only works in our world.
Well, you do find your magic is different. You're accustomed to the arcane flux.
yeah, that's something I was gonna get to. Would I be able to cast magic in any of those places? Well,
Sorry.
one of the far realms, one that isn't the Primaterium.
Well, if it's an event or a thing where the arcane flux exists, then yes. If not, you'd have to cast magic like everyone else. But you don't.
Well, no.
Is there a way to fix that?
Yes, but it
Hopefully.
basically involves relearning all of your spells.
That
In
sounds
game
like
terms,
fun.
Yargon, what does that do?
Basically multi-classing.
Oh, good grief.
You'd effectively have to multi-class into a caster of some kind, and that caster into wizard essentially, and you could use those because the arcane power is the same, so it'd be the same spell slots, but those spells you learn there. You'd have to have a separate spell book for it and everything. I suppose for a wizard, you could theoretically already have those. You could just like take spells, but they would only work when there's no flux around. If you learn to do it that way, you have to learn each spell. Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't have to multi-class. What am I on about? You would have to have a separate spell book for it. You would probably have to be using wizard spells, or you'd have to get someone to teach you, if as a sorcerer or whatever. And you'd have to find a way to get them separately. Yeah, I don't know why I thought you'd have to multi-class. That would not be right at all. What am I saying?
No, it suck.
Yeah, what am I saying? But yeah, you would have to like learn every spell and cantrip separately, and they would just not work with the arcane flux around.
Alrighty then.
Right.
Well, as much as it seems like that's a good idea, at the same time it also seems like a bad idea as we want to get back home. And so we'll be spending all this time learning this stuff only for it to not work when we get back home.
Yes. I would advise you, though, if you want to have a look through these, to do be a little careful. The last time someone went through, they didn't come back. And you can't open the doors from the other side. We had to close it.
Well then.
Wait, so how do you get back then? You don't?
You walk back through, you leave the door open. But we had to close the door. He sort of points at the one that, again, it looks kind of battered and broken. It's this one. Well, on the other side, you see, there's some pretty nasty things. And, well, we didn't want them coming through, so we had to close the door. We've no idea what happened to her. She was from your plane as well.
Shit. Do you mind me taking a quick look inside?
Oh, certainly welcome to try. He just hobbles over
I'm,
to the door.
I'm just gonna pop my head in.
Yeah, you open the door. As you stick your head in, you see, you can feel a sweltering heat across just everything. And you can all feel it just wafting out of the door as this sand begins sort of blowing out. There's this dark reddish sand covers everything.
Oh, bloody
the sun
hell.
is like half blotted out by this sort of the sand, the dust, and it's kind of just in the air. It's more dust that's just in the air. There's this a structure of some kind, like maybe 100, 120 feet forward and to the right. It's like maybe like an archway of some kind. It's like cracked and like one side of it's missing. It's fallen over a bit. You can see a number of other ruined structures dotted further on. As you look forward, you feel this massive shadow pass over you. As you look up towards where the sun was. This huge, limb just slams into the ground. You feel it. You kind of see it shake, but
Nope.
just
I
sticking your head
closed the
in.
door.
Just sticking your head in, you don't feel it. It's maybe 100 feet across the limb. There's this what appears to be a titan of some kind, like stomp, stomp, stomp with three
I
legs.
closed the door.
You slam the door closed.
No, I just keep that closed for the dust hazards.
Yes.
By the heavens.
We have, do need to have a look every now and then to just check that she's not shown up at the door. It was about a week that she went a week ago. We don't know what happened to her.
A weekend there?
Well, yes.
Christ. Well, Felix, I'm gonna have a look through a few books.
Yeah.
Maybe through these doors as well. Not this one. And I'm gonna try and find a way to get us out of here.
I just turn to look to the other guys and say, do you perhaps have a way you can help us get out of here using these doors?
Oh, this one. He points at the one that looks kind of like a door you'd see on Korea, because this one leads to one of your city trains.
Korea, by any chance?
No, it's one of the abandoned ones. This one, he points at the other door. This one leads you to the city of Vornador. That's the
For
one
real?
underground.
Well, we kind of need to get back to Korea, I say, scratching my head.
Yeah, but we were going to Vornador anyway.
I just slowly turn to face him and say, You are
Right.
going to Vornida.
Right.
I went to the forward train to find my sister.
Yeah. Well, that's the closest route to home we have for you right now. I'll see if I can do anything about it.
Please do.
Basically, I have a bunch of studying to do.
In the meantime, I've just been reading books and like half listening to the conversation.
From what you're saying, the arcane flux actually kind of messes with a lot of it. A lot of the machines that you can see.
Yeah.
That it talks about. It doesn't really describe particularly in depth, which is a bit of a shame. But it does talk about some of the mechanical titans. It talks about the trains. It talks about the weaponry. Some of the security constructs and all sorts of strange equipment that was used and built to defend against the arcane flux. That was built and used in all sorts of things.
Yeah. I'm gonna, if the librarian is still around, I'll just be like, so do you have any more information about these things that my people built earlier? Just like literally pointing to one of the passages in the book.
He sort of looks closer at it. What are you talking about?
If it says anything about the last gun or any of the equipment that was used to fight the flux.
Oh yes, the weaponry. Let me think. And he sort of scratches his head from it. Oh yes, this way. He leads you over like three of them. Takes out, holds up his hand. One of the books on the top shelves, just you see it sort of wriggle from it, and it flies down into his hand. So it catches it, and slowly holds it out to you. This might be what you're looking for.
Thank you very much. I'll take it and read it.
What languages do you speak?
Common, Elven, and Celestial.
You will read it then. Okay. Yeah, it appears to be an Elven. It is a book. It describes, from what you can tell, all sorts of stuff about the weapons and that kind of the weapons that were used, the effects of the weapons, how the effects were created, and a lot of the other sort of tools and things that they used.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna really study it, understand it.
Sure. Okay, so essentially over the course of a couple of hours, you can gain a pretty good understanding of how the gun works and how a couple of the other sort of tools and basic things that they used work.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah. As I say, it does appear that although this stuff still works with the arcane flux, it's severely reduced. It doesn't work as well.
Is there any way of limiting the effects of the flux?
You can ward against the arcane flux. If you had your gun warded, maybe that would work. You're not quite sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'll basically do the study of like how to make guns better and how to work against the flux.
Okay. So you spend your time doing that. Mathias and Mathias, what are you specifically looking for and through?
Specifically looking for spell books would be a good start.
You can find a few books that have some basic spells in, not major spell books though.
Okay. Any other means of learning how to cast magic on this plane, or basically checking the doors, checking which of those I can cast magic in, and that are not the Primaterium.
A few of them. There's like there is maybe, let's say, 10 doors. You can cast magic through like 4 of them.
Okay, how many
10
of
doors
those
that
are
aren't
not
the
Primaterium?
All of
Okay.
them. There's the 2 that are, and the rest of them are like far planes that either replay events. Not either. That do.
And
And you can cast magic
then I'm
into-
effectively gonna search the most precise way I can cast myself to get these fools back to Korea. Right.
Okay. Sure. So you just begin looking through books in the arcane section for ways to get back. Okay.
Arcana roll.
Sure. It's gonna be tough though. Why did you?
Ooh.
pick
Can I
a dice
assist
that
him?
I
can't
like
read?
it tough. What's that?
I was going to offer to assist him because I actually have a higher Arcana than you do.
You have a higher Arcana?
Yeah, expertise in Arcana.
You what?
It
I
should-
have a
hang
plus
on.
9.
It should be an investigation, not an arcana. But because you're looking through books. That's my bad.
That's the same stat.
Okay.
That's the same bonus.
Still 25. Felix, that would be a help action, which would
Yeah,
be
I would help
advantage.
him.
So
Yeah.
Matthias, go ahead and roll again. Just in case.
Investigation again.
Also, could you pick a dice color I can see the dice on? 17. Okay, so 25.
The planes just never end.
Yeah, you get. You find a few books that give you a few clues as to like plane shift and that kind of stuff. You find various. What would be it? Various like wordings of banishment mentioned a number of times, although it does state that those are completely random. So that's always a bit risky. And then there is plane shift, which will take you to the exact place. You don't find because you didn't meet the DC, was the plane shift spell.
Okay.
So you could try and banish them. That would be real risky. You do find how to, the banishment spell listed. You'd have to effectively learn it again, but you do, like as a wizard, learn spells. But you do find the actual spell for banishment. So you could learn to cast that outside of the flux.
Hey, I'm getting my long rest here anyway. And I'm getting a new spell on level 9, so...
As I say, you will have to learn these ones. You can't take these from level ups. You will have to learn these ones.
Shit. Okay.
It won't count towards your spell known. You will have to learn it though.
This is why you play a martial character.
Yeah, so,
The Sauriv.
essentially, because these ones are not how you're familiar with magic, this isn't something you can effectively discover on your own. You're going
That's
to have
fair.
to learn this one.
That's fair.
But yeah, like even Akane would be able to learn these. Yes. So,
Could I...
what are you guys doing, Sauriv?
Passed out.
Pandal's passed out on my lap. What's Akane doing?
Not touching the bear.
Oh, okay. That's a shame. I'm gonna just say to Akane, make sure he doesn't die. And I'm gonna pick Pandal up and kind of like pick up his head and throw his head over onto her lap.
What?
Okay.
If we're all sitting like next to each other, anyway.
Yeah, sure.
What do I have to do with him?
Just keep him there. Make sure he doesn't die. I don't know. I'll just be a second. And I'm gonna go up to the tavern, the innkeep.
Oh
Okay,
my
yeah.
god.
It's a young-looking elven lady. Hello. How can I help you?
Hello there, miss.
Yes.
You're a barkeep. You hear some rumors, don't you?
Occasionally.
This might be a little bit weird, but you ever hear of any weird stories like magical swords and magic stuff?
Quite a few. Why?
I'm looking for one called Caravar.
She is going to
You ever heard of it?
roll to see if she has. What would this be? It's barkeep, so she actually knows quite a few things. This is going to be an intelligence, though, right?
For memory?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
Oh my.
Yeah, I've heard a few rumors. Why? Mostly that it exists not on this plane.
Damn it. But
From-
anything else?
Well, I'm sure you could probably find it in Teknoa, but from what I've heard, Kalnori would be the place to look. Which is
The
probably
what? The
good.
what?
Kalnori, dear. It's a plane of existence at the far end of the civilization axis.
Okay.
You see, like,
What was the other one?
You see, like, cross her face that she's dealing with an idiot here. Teknoa, it's the other end of the plane of civilization. You can find almost anything you're looking for there, or at least find how to get anything you're looking for.
Oh.
So you could find someone who knows
all
where
right.
it is there, probably, but you might have to look for quite a long time. It's a very big city. Actually, it doesn't stop. It just keeps going.
Oh, really now? Ooh.
Yes, in all directions. There's no sky.
Wait, what?
Don't forget I said anything. Kalnori, though,
Okay.
from what I've heard, Kalnori might be the place to look. Kalamon is the only city there. Well, it's a town. It's very small. Maybe they'll know.
Alright. Thank you very much. I've not heard much for a long time, but this is nice to hear.
It's,
Thank you very much. And I'm gonna put a gold piece on the.
Thank you. She takes it. If I may
sorry.
ask, why are you looking for it?
There's someone I want to kill, and he's a dick. All right.
Aren't they all? Are you just looking to kill
yeah.
someone, or are you looking for someone in particular?
Well, he's kind of in control.
Someone in particular.
He's
Okay.
yeah, he's it's me dad.
Oh, family issues. I understand.
There we go. That's what I wanted to say. There you go.
It's okay. I did the same.
Nice.
Aha, someone with experience.
Yes. You
I wish Felix was there so he could ask all the questions I have.
Yeah.
Just imagine my face, but super smug right now, Mac.
So just imagine his face.
Yes, you you might struggle to move around in Kalnori though. They don't have down, so you kind of move where you think.
I'll figure it out. I've got smart friends.
I'm sure you will.
All right. Thank you very much, miss. I'm gonna go back to the.
Good luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the table.
Okay.
Take a big ol' swig.
Felix probably
Still
would
slow.
come in about this time, because he would help Mathias, and then Mathias would find what he's looking for, and then eventually Felix would be like, well, it looks like you got this, so I'll just go back with the rest of the group, I guess. Talk to you more in a bit.
Yeah, I guess I'll show up at a tavern when I'm ready here.
Alright, cool.
Sure.
If you need my help, just, like, you know where I'll be.
Sure thing.
Alright, then I'll head back to the tavern.
Okay. You have.
I'll grab myself I'll grab an ale.
Yeah. She hands you an ale.
Alright.
It's about like, for the record, it'll be like 1 silver each.
Alright, I'll
good, but not
flip her a
expensive.
silver, say thanks, and
Okay.
go to sit down, like, over at the group, and then as it goes, hey guy, and just like kind of stop as I see Pandal on Akane's lap and go, is
Be careful, it's very strong stuff.
Is he
has one
okay?
drink.
Ah,
Yeah,
we're
he had a
fine.
drink.
It's not the first time he's passed out.
okay? Perhaps we should put him in a bed or something? I say, looking confused. Like, at the very least, raise his head so that way if he pukes, he won't choke to death on it. You do know that, right?
I'd
Well-
rather not have him puke on my lap anyway, so yeah.
Here, do we have rooms in here yet? I say, just like
Oh
walking over
yeah,
to
I paid for some rooms. Yeah, I
Um,
suppose I'll take him to one. I'm just gonna lift him up, chuck him over my shoulder.
Sure. You take him up to the room. It's a pretty simple room. They've each got 3 beds in them. You throw him on one of the beds.
Yep.
Yeah. Head back down.
Make sure he's not dying.
He seems fine.
Is he dying? Okay.
Hang on a
I'm
second.
going back.
Pandal, roll a Constitution save.
Oh no.
No,
Just
God.
out of interest.
Do I die?
He appears to have choked to death on his own No, he's fine.
Alright.
Good thing I thought of that, because I have a feeling you would have done something along those lines if I hadn't pointed that out.
Oh, absolutely. It was a nat 1.
Oh yeah. What's that haste rid of? Got no magic, I'm dying, it's over.
That's that problem solved. Next stop,
Yeah.
the wizard.
The Pandal problem. Tuck
Here
me in
lies
though, bro, what
Pandal.
the fuck?
He was a great haster while he existed. Now we needed a new one.
Stop
Thanks.
yourself. So,
Well, I mean, haste is a very common spell.
Yeah.
So, you return back to the group.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys just gonna drink away?
Yep, pretty
I'm
much.
gonna take a sip of my beer.
Yeah, it's extremely strong, but also tastes like good ale. Ooh, tastes like good ale, but it's extremely strong.
I just like kind of cough a bit, kind of lean back, look at it. Okay, I'm only gonna take one or two, not even gonna take a
Yes.
second of this.
It's very strong.
God,
If
yeah.
the beer tastes like vodka, what does the vodka taste like?
To be fair, I think this still tastes like beer.
I like
Miss,
where you're going with this.
Yes.
could I please have a shot of vodka?
You sure about that?
I'm very sure about that.
That's what
He's
I like
not
to
sure
hear.
about that at all.
And she
I have a massive grin on my face and my tail is swishing wildly.
She goes over to a certain couple of bottles, pulls one off the shelf. You see it's this dark brown glass bottle, and its label is just a skull, the crossbones.
He's just gonna put rat poison in your fucking drink.
Puts it on the counter, screws the cap on. That's a platinum, please.
What will happen on that
Oh.
one?
I don't have any platinum. I can give you 10 gold up.
That works.
Alright. I put 10 platinum on the counter.
10 platinum.
Ding gold, you mean?
No, not 10 platinum, 10 gold, sorry.
She takes it.
Because I don't have any platinum.
For the
And
record,
Do you
Felix gets up from where he's sitting, probably next to Sauriv, just walks around and goes, sits next to Akane and goes, I feel safer over here.
still keep your money in your loincloth?
Yes.
Okay, she
He
looks a
does.
little confused as you reach into your loincloth and pull out 10 gold.
Just
But doesn't
just
comment.
gonna circle around in my junk a little and then I just pull out 10 gold.
She looks slightly disturbed / confused, but doesn't comment. Then, thank you.
She's a tavern keep, she's probably seen weirder.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Does she touch the gold with her bare skin, though, is a question that I have.
Yeah, she's not really worried about it.
Not fair.
Okay.
Now,
Maybe
No.
take a seat before you do
I
that.
am offended. Yeah. Sauriv just gonna says, "Oh, can't be that bad, can it?" I'm just going to pick it up off the bar, still standing, and down it.
Okay,
yes.
And that's how we lost the barbarian.
roll me a Constitution save. I will warn you, the DC is 50.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Come on,
That's
this,
not gonna do it.
this is bandage.
I really wish
If
I
you
got
don't
that 20 in there.
that would have
Yep,
been the end
that
of
was
Sauriv.
Oh, yeah.
I really wish I'd got that 20. That would be
And that
so
one, it would have
amazing.
gone down and then come straight back up again. Yeah, so as you drink this down, you swear you can feel the burning down the back of your neck. In fact, you can feel the burning down the back of your neck.
Oh no.
You take
Jesus
6 points of acid damage
Oh, nothing.
as you feel this
Wait.
burning pain down the back of your neck. And it tastes like not only like the strongest alcohol you've ever tasted, but like some of the best alcohol you've tasted. It tastes amazing, and then instantly the world goes black. You just collapse.
What happens actually? I down it like, yeah, that's pretty good. That's real good.
Bam.
Could I get I just collapsed onto the ground.
I
Yeah.
just watched this slowly turn to Akane with a look of horror on my face and say, is he gonna be okay?
I think so.
Oh god.
Should we try and drag him to his room? I don't know if you can.
Do you want me to
I
put your
hope you
friend in
can
his room?
drag about 100 and 200.
You can do that? I
pounds.
say looking to the barkeep.
Sure. If you want me to. He's kind of in the way here. He's like at the bar.
Yeah.
Would you yes,
I
would you
don't think I can
find
lift
me?
him.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'm
She-
kinda small.
Walks around the bar. Just grabs him by the back of the scarf. One hand just picks him up. And just walks off. effortlessly. Like, with about as much effort as you'd pick up a kitten, by the look of it.
Oh.
I just turn over to Felix and say, we should get Sauriv to arm wrestle her.
I think Sauriv is going to end up in love with her.
Oh god.
Well,
So, yeah, I say, just kind of like turning to Akane, looking confused, and say, so, it's, yeah.
So,
I just like hold my drink out as if to like punctuate something, but I have nothing to punctuate with.
and with that confused look, that's where we're going to take a break. Because we've been going for an hour and a half, so it's break time. So, we'll catch you guys
Break time!
in the next part. In about 15 minutes for us. With the magic of playlists. Click the playlist, it exists.